Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we're going to talk about Warhammer 40,000 tanks and World of Tanks. This is a bit of a weird crossover in a way. Normally on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday I do something 40k related, and on Tuesday and Thursday I do something not 40k related, video games of some kind. Here though we have the rare collaboration. It's not really that rare, it's just that a lot of 40k games aren't so great. And I got excited yesterday. I actually got quite excited, I'll be honest. I saw that there was going to be a collaboration between World of Tanks and between Warhammer 40,000. And I thought to myself, you know what? A World of Tanks style game, freemium, annoying though it may be, with your whole buy special ammo to do more damage and just all of the freemium stuff that comes along with that game. A Warhammer 40k game revolving around the tanks of that universe and like tank versus tank battle. If you ranged all the way up from kind of skirmishes between scout vehicles or transports like chimeras and rhinos and stuff like that, all the way up to, you know, battling with super heavy tanks, that would be pretty fucking cool. I'd play it. I would absolutely play it, and freemium stuff aside, it would probably be quite fun. But then I noticed something. And in fact what I'll do is I'll just read you what the press release says, and you can share in my disappointment. As you might not. You might think this is great. You might. Collaboration with Warhammer 40,000, says What Blitz. That's the important bit. Remember that bit? Blitz. Both World of Tanks Blitz and Warhammer 40,000 are about fierce battles. Residents of these universes are tough, strong-willed and brutal. Their only goal is victory, and there is only one way to achieve it: to destroy enemy forces. There is no place for weakness, no quarter is asked and none is given, and armoured vehicles are extremely valued here. Well, yeah. For the Emperor in Blitz. The collaboration of these warlike universes was just a matter of time, and now the time has come. Time and money, I suspect. They left the money part out. They gave you the time bit, but not the money bit. For over 30 years, Warhammer 40,000 has grown into one of the world's best-known science fantasy universes. That is a terrible sentence. For over 30 years, Warhammer 40,000 has grown into. Doesn't make any sense, but okay. Featuring a huge variety of devastating war machines. The opportunity to combine 40,000 with the amazing game that Wargaming has created opens up a world of exciting possibilities for fans of both, said John Gillard, head of licensing at Games Workshop, so this is his fault. We can't wait for all of them to join us behind the controls of the exclusive content that we've prepared together. Warhammer 40,000 began as a tabletop miniature wargame produced by Games Workshop, set in a dystopian science fantasy universe. Over the years, the universe has expanded to video games, novels, comics and more, garnering a huge following around the globe. World of Tanks Blitz has brought lots of stunning collaborations in the past, says Andrei Ryabovol. I'm going to link it in the description, you can look at it yourselves. World of Tanks Blitz publishing product director at Wargaming. Warhammer 40,000 has such a rich universe which opens up new ways to bring each of our worlds together. World of Tanks Blitz is a game that revels in the fact it can create a place where real and alternate histories clash on the battlefield to delight its community. We're really excited to unveil what we have in store, so our players can look forward to some exciting news soon. World of Tanks Blitz will soon be visited by monstrous and unforgettable inhabitants of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and the rage of battles will heat up. So, we do indeed have a collaboration between Warhammer 40,000 and World of Tanks, but not World of Tanks, not the actual full-fat version of World of Tanks, not the non-mobile World of Tanks. No, instead what we have, again, and it's worth stressing that point, again, what we have is a Warhammer 40,000 mobile effort. Because of course we haven't had enough of those. It's getting to be a little bit annoying, I'll be honest. Yes, in recent times we have had things like Dawn of War 3, which I fucking hated, to be perfectly honest with you. Dear God, I could not stand Dawn of War 3, but at least it was a AAA, I was going to say PC game, but a video game. It is not something that you would see on mobile. It is not the sort of low graphic, low res, spit it out freemium stuff that frankly Warhammer 40,000 in video games is becoming kind of known for at this stage. I realised that at one point Games Workshop was, I think, too stingy. They were too stingy with their licenses. They got very overprotective. They got very sort of... They hoarded it. They wouldn't let anyone touch it. It was like, oh no, you're not allowed to do... No, don't do that. Don't do anything. You're not allowed to do anything with it. You know, there are companies that wanted to make great 40k games that never really got the chance because Games Workshop wasn't having any of it. I genuinely am starting to miss those days now because we are getting to the point where the number of low-effort 40k mobile games is threatening to overwhelm the actual decent, you know, console or PC video games. I mean, we've got things like Total War Warhammer. That is an outstanding effort. I mean, once again, it being Games Workshop, and it seems part of Games Workshop is not quite caught up with the rest of it when it comes to the new approach. Producing the Warhammer Fantasy Battles version of Total War, given that they destroyed Warhammer Fantasy Battles and instead launched Age of Sigmar, that was a questionable decision in terms of marketing. That was a bit odd. It was like, look at this amazing thing you can play. Oh, what's this like on the oh, it doesn't exist on the tabletop anymore. Okay, that was a bit odd. Okay, that was off. Game itself, though, much though I think the DLC can be priced a bit over the top, is a solid game. It's an enjoyable game. It is a high-effort game. It is undeniably a AAA title. It is something that I will pay money for on the basis that I know I'm going to get a good experience out of it. Warhammer 40k has gone into this bizarre, weird little corner of gaming where there's any number of either cheap or free-to-play mobile games, which are okay, and there's been just an influx of games by, I think it's Slytherin. Is it Slytherin? That did Panzer? Like Panzer Elite style games where you've got the grid system, and I mean there was one not that long ago that was, I think it was Space Wolves and Orcs. Sanctus Reach, I think it was, in fact, thinking about it. There was another one that was, I want to say it was Steel Legion themed, or it was called something. It might have even been an Armageddon one. But there's a lot of these, there's a lot of turn-based 40k games that are, you know, grid system games, which are all essentially the same. It's just got different units in. There's a bunch of free-to-play or, you know, cheap mobile games which are okay. You've got stuff in the middle. You've got stuff like Space Hulk. Space Hulk, I mean, both Space Hulk and Space Hulk Deathwing they're okay. They're not bad. But we're just not seeing the full potential of this at all. And then we see things like this where, on the face of it, it's like, okay, that's cool. Warhammer 40k tanks in World of Tanks. A World of Tanks game made out of 40k tanks. Ignore the freemium stuff. That's pretty fucking cool. I like the idea of that. But again, it's mobile. It's just more mobile. And I'm genuinely starting to wonder, when it comes to licensing at Games Workshop, I cannot believe for a moment that there is absolutely no one out there who wants to do like another Space Marine game. I can't believe that there is no one out there who doesn't want to do a massive RPG. I mean, we've got Inquisitor on the way, which looks okay. But again, it's like, how do you get, on the one hand, Creative Assembly to do Total War Warhammer and Total War Warhammer 2? And yet, on the other hand, the best you can do, the absolute best you can do for 40k is Dawn of War 3. I don't understand how there's no middle ground. How is there nothing for 40k that can be done to the scope of a Total War game, for instance? I mean, in some ways, yeah, Total War, most of the factions don't have a campaign, so to speak. There's the grand campaign in which you can play all these different factions. Dawn of War 3, the campaign mode, such as it is a lot more limited, but it's limited because there are far fewer factions, and that's not the focus of the game. Is there no way? Is there no one out there, literally no one out there, who will tackle 40k on a grand scale again? I can't believe that that's not true. After we've seen things like Dawn of War and Dawn of War 2, where you had so many different factions, you had so many different armies, to now be stuck in this weird area where the amount of choice for 40k has gone down in terms of both games and game styles, and yet the choice for Warhammer Fantasy, which technically doesn't even exist anymore because it's Age of Sigmar instead. Yeah, there's only like 1 or 2 games for Fantasy right now, but they're fucking massive games with loads of factions. They cover all the bases. Where's the middle ground? Why is 40k getting crappy mobile collaborations? Why is 40k getting Dawn of War 3, which was like an esports abortion? Like, what the hell? With three factions and that's it. Where is the grand, all-encompassing, you know, properly 100% faithful 40k game? Where is that? Why doesn't it exist? Does no one want to make it? Surely someone wants to make it. Surely there's got to be a AAA publisher or a AAA developer who could make something out of it. I mean, even when you look at things like the Eternal Crusade, that's been marred with issues for years. I mean, it was still using false advertising when it launched. What is with the contrast? How do you nail it after so long with nothing for Warhammer Fantasy? How do you then nail it with Total War? And yet with 40k, the more popular of the two franchises, having had colossal titles like Dawn of War and Dawn of War 2 and bloody Space Marine, how do you then go down to nearly nothing? And then years later, Dawn of War 3, which got a lukewarm reception at best. I don't understand. I just don't understand. And when I see things like John Gillard, head of licensing at Games Workshop, why are you just handing the license out to anybody? Like, why is it just going towards any old crap on mobile? Why is it creating endless grid-based, turn-based tactical games? Where's everything else? What is happening over at licensing at Games Workshop that this is even a thing? What is the crossover audience? For a start, between World of Tanks Blitz, the mobile version of World of Tanks, and Warhammer 40k. Is there a big crossover audience? We don't know. Because we don't know how these things come about. They just appear out of nowhere, and half the time they leave you sitting there going, why? It's weird. It's bizarre. To me, this is a really weird combination. On the face of it, it's like, yeah, tanks. 40k tanks find each other. That's cool. In an established game already, the mobile version of an established game, that's where you start to lose me, because it's not its own thing. It's just a collaboration. For a mobile game, there's no shortage of 40k mobile games. We don't need another one, let alone embedded in a totally different game that is round full of freemium stuff. Where's the logic? I just don't get it. What do you think of this anyway? I mean, you can tell what I think. I think it's probably going to be shit, but I want to know what you think. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think they're just dropping the ball with licensing? Are you giving up hope of seeing a decent 40k game for the foreseeable future? Or do you think someone's going to nail it? Do you think there's going to be some big project around the corner which you'll absolutely love? I hope so, but based on stuff like this, I just don't know where their heads are at. It's just weird. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As usual, there's links all over the screen, videos, subscribe, Patreon, all that stuff. Click it if you like. Don't have to. It's up to you. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.